August 28th, 2020, 3 stars, no review. January 12th, 2021, 3 stars. Liked it a bit more, understood it a bit better, still not really a fan. December 9th, 2024, 3.5 stars. I keep coming back to Tenet. It's as compelling as it is obtuse. August 12th, 2025, 4 stars. I can't stop watching Tenet. Tenet, a word that spelled the same both forwards and backwards. A palindrome, just like subscribe. Christopher Nolan famously makes simple movies that are very easy to understand and explain. Alright Chris, so this is a straightforward war movie with minimal dialogue. Focus on spectacle and suspense. No time stuff, okay? I'm gonna do a non-linear narrative with 3 separate time tracks. One way in which Nolan makes his complex ideas more digestible is by presenting them through the lens of recognizable genres and conventions. Inception is a science fiction epic about infiltrating people's dreams across multiple layers of the subconscious. But it's also a heist film. The seasoned criminal doing one last job, putting together a crew of specialists, improvising when the plan falls apart. This is a story structure and a character arc that are familiar to the audience. It's something you know and can latch on to while trying to figure everything else out.
This last job. Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
Tenet is a science fiction epic about a secret war between the present and the future. A war fought across time in both directions, as the entropy of objects and people can be reversed. But it's also a spy film. A secret agent travels the world in style to thwart the evil plans of a nefarious Russian. The fate of the world and the life of a beautiful woman hang in the balance.
I've seen this one.
Tenet is a classic spy story. I grew up loving spy movies, particularly the Bond films.
Apparently, he even wanted to do an actual Bond film after Tenet, but was turned down. It was allegedly over final cut privileges. But I like to imagine that this was Barbara Broccoli's reaction to watching Tenet and hearing the word entropy.
You British don't have a monopoly on snobbery, you know?
Well, not a monopoly, more of a controlling interest.
John David Washington's effortless charisma is well matched by Kenneth Branagh's absolutely ruthless performance as Andre Sator.
How would you like to die?
Old.
You chose the wrong profession.
Nolan's insistence on practical photography, shooting on location all over the world, and his love for the IMAX format gives the whole movie a sense of undeniable scale and grounded realism. This doesn't just enhance the viewing experience, it also helps cast and crew connect with the material behind the scenes.
It'd been a long shoot, everybody was tired, and then all of a sudden the 4 Chinooks started up. Even my stunt guy, like seasoned stunt guys who have seen some pretty epic stuff were like, you know, you can just see them all kind of standing up and, you know, holding their guns and like, yeah, let's do it, you know, and it just really helped charge the whole crew.
When your movie is packed with layers of complexity and crisscrossing directions of time, having so much of it be done practically and shot on film makes a huge difference. It all seems that much more tangible and real.
The audience is always aware on some level of the difference between things that are animated and something that's been photographed. That has a patina and a texture and a flavor and a taste to things that is unfamiliar to people.
We live in a time where media is deliberately dumbed down so that you can watch it while doing something else. Entertainment is now content meant to be mindlessly scrolled without sound.
We're all trying to find the guy who did this and give him a spanking.
And here's Christopher Nolan saying, no, fuck you. You want to watch a movie? Then sit your ass down and watch it. Lock in. Put the phone away and pay attention.
We'll try and keep up.
Content is trying to steal your attention, while the films of Christopher Nolan demand it. All the information you need to understand what's going on is there, but if you're not focused and actively absorbing it, you will be lost.
Is your head hurt yet?
Yes.
I didn't understand why the cars were moving backwards until the 3rd time I saw Tenet, okay? And it's not like they don't talk about it.
Can I to drive a car?
Cowboy shit.
I can't vouch for the handling. Friction and wind resistance are reversed. You are inverted. The world does not.
This is so incredibly frustrating. We've lost all competitiveness. You just have to listen to me. I would have found a different way of managing those issues. Now it's just undrivable.
Sure, that can be
Incredibly frustrating.
but it's also admirable. I like that Nolan respects his audience intelligence enough to challenge it. Tenet may very well be his most demanding movie yet. Even the people making it were constantly struggling to make sense of how everything is supposed to work.
I've never had any job where so many of the finest professionals in the world at what they do would show up on a given day and, honest to God, they didn't have it right what's happening in that scene. It's just that complicated and that different.
At least Nolan himself had it all figured out, right?
It was striking the degree to which your instinct would tell you something, and you'd be absolutely convinced of it. And then after really puzzling it through and looking at the sequence and looking at it objectively, the first answer would always be wrong.
We're experiencing a complex, non-linear chronology, mainly from one linear perspective. The protagonist, like us, he spends most of the movie just trying to keep up, and all the different bits and pieces only start to come together near the end.
They're running a temporal pincer movement.
What?
The pincer movement. But not in space, in time. Half his team moves forward through the event, he monitors them and then attacks at the end moving backwards, knowing everything.
If you think of the whole movie as a temporal pincer movement, then the first time you see it is just reconnaissance. You learn a lot, but it's not the full picture. It's going back, seeing it again with the knowledge you already have that allows you to really start understanding it. Every time I see Tenet, I appreciate it more and I understand it better. From enjoying the extra layers to character interactions, to spotting new details that help you connect the different timelines. There's always something cool I didn't catch before. Another piece of the puzzle clicking into place. There's a part of me that wants to watch videos that go over the whole thing frame by frame. But another part of me wants to discover new things on my own. Also, sometimes those videos are actually more confusing. Here's an insane person who decided to synchronize the airport fight. So yeah, that's a nightmare. I think a little bit of disorientation is the secret ingredient to the action scenes that have any kind of inverting going on. It's bizarre and overwhelming, but there is a precisely calculated, logical flow to every movement. It's inviting you to look closely and connect the dots.
Don't try to understand it. Feel it.
The non-inverted action is pretty damn impressive too. The opera siege is a brilliant cold open, maybe even my favorite opening sequence of any Nolan movie. I love how well it establishes the protagonist's skills, resourcefulness, and the depths of his humanity, adapting to a rapidly deteriorating situation and going above and beyond to save the hostages and protect his team.
Covering the tracks.
Taking out the audience.
It's just the cheap seats. On our mission. Mine now.
I'm also a sucker for a clever heist idea, so the Talon convoy squeeze is another favorite. All that being said, there are some aspects of Tenet that will not get better no matter how many times I watch it.
End of play.
End of play. Can you be a little more precise?
Everyone and everything that's ever lived, destroyed instantly. Precise enough?
Including my son.
Yes, Catherine, if everyone in the world dies, that does include your 2D printed son. What an amazingly awkward way to remind people of the personal emotional stakes of the movie. Cobb's kids in Inception are halfway between a dream and a memory, and they still feel more like real children when compared to the kid from Tenet. I want to show you every single scene with the kid from Tenet, but just playing that much footage might get me a copyright strike. I could end up losing my entire channel over this, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because I want to prove a point, and because I'm not afraid. So here is every scene with the kid from Tenet.
Anna says we're going to Pompeii and see lava.
We will. We'll go together. I'll be there too.
Yeah, that's it. One line of dialogue, most of it off-screen, and not even 30 seconds of actual screen time. What really grinds my gears is that you don't need to do that much to make this work. Kat is the character that we care about, so it's not like I want long scenes of her with the kid in the middle of my globe-trotting spy film. But take this for example.
Who's the American?
He's a friend.
The man from Shipley's.
You tried to have beaten up.
I ask again, who is he?
Paranoia is your department, Andre. He seems nice. I invited him to the dinner. Max!
He's visiting Pompeii and Herculaneum.
You just sent him off. I promised him I'd go with him.
I explained you were busy. With your friend.
This is a great moment that shows how Sator is trying to turn Kat's own son against her, deliberately creating emotional and physical distance between them. What could have made it even better is, I don't know, if the kid's desire to go to Pompeii wasn't delivered off-screen?
Anna says we're going to Pompeii.
Maybe even do the unthinkable and give him a second line of dialogue.
Thank you for promising to go with me to Pompeii, Mother.
That's not gonna put him in the Movie Kids Hall of Fame, but it would have been something. To be fair, the Movie Kids Hall of Fame does have a few entries that only needed one line.
Go get him! I can swim!
How can you justify destroying a $7 million mini-mall to rescue a girl whose ransom was only $25,000?
Fuck you, lady!
Also, this might come as a shock, but Tenet is not the first movie where the protagonist has to save the world. There are at least 2 others, maybe even 5. In movies, a good end of the world, even a generic one, like global nuclear war, is something that you can see. Films are a visual medium, so the best way to understand the danger is to see it. Whether it's a vision, a nightmare, or a test run, previewing the apocalypse is important, both for the audience and the characters. Sarah Connor's anger and desperation in Terminator 2 is deeply informed by her recurring nightmare of Judgment Day, and the striking imagery of a burning children's playground becomes the symbol of what our protagonists are fighting to prevent. Tenet doesn't have that, it just has a timer. What does reversing the entropy of everything look like? Nolan was particularly drawn to this concept because playing with the direction of time is also uniquely visual. Reading it on a page is not the same as seeing it in motion.
Before the motion picture camera exists, there's no way for people to conceive of slow motion or reverse motion. Cinema itself is the window onto time that allows this project to come to fruition.
And yet, Tenet's Doomsday is just words on a page and numbers on a timer. Even something as simple as the protagonist having a nightmare about the end of the world would have gone a long way. Seeing Catherine, her fake-ass son, and the whole world unwinding into non-existence while he's helpless to stop it. It might have been slightly more effective than...
Including my son.
Those gripes aside, I've grown to really like Tenet. It's not my favorite Nolan movie, but it's definitely the one I've warmed up to the most. If, like me, you felt confused and maybe even a little disappointed the first time you saw it, I'd say give it another shot. And maybe another one after that. So my first video kind of blew up out of nowhere. I hit 150,000 views and got over 2,000 subscribers in just a few days. I had to go back several times to rewrite this part of the video because the numbers just kept going up. Every channel that's just starting out hopes something like this happens, but I never expected it would happen so fast. Thank you for the views, thank you for subscribing, thank you for all the wonderful comments, it really means a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video too, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already.
You're familiar with the Manhattan Project? As they approached the first atomic test, Oppenheimer